the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat. Challenge your ordinary. Experience the extraordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Now, I believe that my peace is my most valuable asset.
Absolutely beautiful!
This is exactly what I was looking for!
DJ Khaled!
It is a day to celebrate.
We're ready for action.
I like it when it's nice and soft. That is nice.
How was it like growing up in Nigeria? Yes, sir, you know what it is.
Feeling is there that, you're doing something special.
Stop being so dramatic, Mira.
You should just be what you want to be.
Experience the extraordinary with StarSat. Feel the heat.
Hold on. To make it through this journey alive, you're gonna need someone to teach you the ninja way.
Don't just stand there, kill someone!
Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat. Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat.
China's saying that the latest outbreak is under control.
Feel the heat.
The cabinet has decided to ease restrictions on certain other economic activities.
I don't want to be a white person who sits by and does nothing, so that's why I'm here today.
Feel the excitement.
We are here to unite, because what we are fighting for is to stop institutional racism.
Feel the heat with
the coronavirus outbreak.
Experience the extraordinary.
Tremendous waste and tremendous fraud. Mexico is, in fact, you will soon find out.
It is a day to celebrate.
We don't approve at all what's going on.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily unusual.
Challenge your ordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Experience the extraordinary with StarSat.
Welcome back again. If you have just joined us, we welcome you. Now let's give you the news headlines. The ANC has committed to reimbursing the government for flights to Zimbabwe. And Finance Minister Tito Mboweni says that South Africa may be forced to rob Peter in order to pay Paul. And SA Express employees amongst the bidders in attempts to revive the airline. And Nigerian health workers demand hazard allowance compensation. And of course, it's a wellness day. We have already had our resident health coach, Umnumzane Ephraim Morobela, who was talking to us about the importance of taking in good sugars and fats during the heat wave. And also, we are now joined in the studio with by NDLOVU as we are moving into the next discussion, of course, of the day. Owen, thank you so much for joining us, and a warm welcome to Galaxy Universal Network.
Good morning, ma'am, and thank you very much for having me.
Nyasaba, as when I'm having you here, I want to make sure everything is fine, because now Dula Kona, I was sugar my paper. Mr. Ndlovu, last time I checked, people were ready. I'm a 250, I'm a 150 that we battle for our year-end song and everything. Gone. and we didn't get to, like, why also, I wanted to see you and tell you face to face with Putuabantu Unomona. Umona wako is beyond understanding. The type of jealousy you have is unexplainable.
No.
Why ukita ishebo netso?
No, Nyantanda, because of you guys only focus on the negative. In 2018, people complained when I introduced Master KG. Master KG won the Summer Song of the Year. He was not known when he won it in 2018. Now is an African world star. That you guys don't count.
No, Master KG as counting. This is the thing. Master, so you're saying
well, to be quite honest, I like to apologize. I didn't mean to close the year. But of course, people don't understand one thing. They think we are in an entertainment industry. No, you and me are not in the entertainment industry. We're in the rights business. Because of what you do is about your rights, to be here and to preserve your rights. So when we are artists and creatives, there's one thing that we fight about, that we are sure about. Once you sign that contracts, you either signing your rights off or you're signing your rights back. So when I signed the contract with SABC, it was nothing but the rights to say, whose rights are these? It was clear to say, Owen, you're bringing the concept of the summer song. And then SABC will give you the airwaves. That was our partnership, because we're all about music, to promote music. So now, when the rights were not protected, then I had to remind them to say, let's go back to what we signed and agreed upon. So basically it was that, but unfortunately there were casualties, and the casualties happened to be the fans. I apologize, but I had to do that.
If you have missed it, yeah, let me take you back into what has happened. Owen NDLOVU is the owner of the idea of the year-end song that is always playing, of course, on Ukhozi FM every 31st of each month. So last year, on the 31st, he is the one that was holding everybody hostage for that, in case you didn't know. Now you know. Owen is apologizing for Ama 150 to Sawafuna Steely. He's also apologizing for Ukisha Umqimbi, Akita ama price stands, because people were mad. He's apologizing for that, of course. Apology from me, at least, accepted.
Oh, thank you.
Because I am with you now. And the fact that if now you know the world's biggest song, Jerusalem, which is done by Master KG, Nangu Baba, who created that talent, you see. But then, today we are not talking about that. We just had to pass into that, Owen, and because every time Aufunu Tatama Potlelu Afage under the mat and then walk on top of it. So you have to all the time put everything, that part, and then we can move forward.
Okay.
Today you are having a march.
Yes.
You're carrying your placards. You are saying that enough is enough. The president needs to open the country so that you can continue to do business, because this is not entertainment. It is business, as you rightly mentioned.
Yes.
Now, what are your demands, and where are you? We know that you are all over the country. So where are you specifically going? If you can just give us those details.
First of all, congratulations on your station that goes to 36 African countries. Unbelievable.
Thank you.
And that's what we want to talk to. We want to talk to our brothers in Africa. To be quite honest, today we are saying to the president, please,
yes.
VULA president. When on the 23rd of March 2020, earlier this year,
yes.
the president announcing the lockdown, we panicked. Everybody didn't know, and in my mind I completed that the world was ending. I didn't see us coming back, because I didn't even think of how the world was going to be like after the lockdown. It was very, very difficult, and what we went through was exactly what we were scared of. Poverty, you know, before even the lockdown, the artists have been dying as paupers. It's been very difficult. We've been donating, we've been collecting and contributing just to bury our brothers in the past. And now when the lockdown came, to be quite honest, it made things worse for the artists. Remember, we're not employed. Worst part, we can't even go to the bank and make a loan, because of the bank regards us as a high risk. So for the artists, it was very frustrating. But what was positive during the lockdown is that people were kept entertained by you on television as an entertainer, by us as artists and promoters. We kept the fires going with the lockdown parties that people were streaming down and all that. It was artists and they were not making money for it. Those things kept people going. It gave people hope. But we were not making any money. We were struggling. Thank God there was a relief fund that the DAC came up with, but unfortunately it had a lot of challenges. And those are things that we raised with the minister to say, Minister Mthethwa, you have tried to come to our party by giving us a relief, but it doesn't really help us because of, first of all, we didn't go to school with the big English that you're speaking. We were just even struggling to put the forms together. So most of our people were disqualified. Out of about 3,000 applications, only 800 were accepted. As a result, we went back to the minister to say, please give us a second opportunity. Of DAC to administer things like that. So they had challenges, we had challenges. As a result, we have opened it again with the minister. But now we're saying this thing doesn't work. You had 20,000 that you were getting, but our problems are usually more than 20,000. Remember, our industry, first of all, is image driven. So the 20,000 you go to the hairstyle, to the hairstyle, you go to your watch. Those so it's a very complicated
especially
industry.
An expensive one like yours.
Because you have to invite people as well to come. So by the time it finishes, 10,000 is gone. So to be quite honest, it's been very, very difficult. So we're saying to the president, please, Sicela uvule president, uvule industry, 70% because of, remember, the president allowed the taxi industry to drive on long distances on 70%. Now we're saying at least that 70% in the events will take us somewhere. So basically today we are going to hand over the memorandum to the president, asking him to open the industry at least on 70%.
Are you expecting him to open it at which period? Are we looking at level 1 on the 15th of October, which it has been escalated? You know, the state of health emergency has continued, is continuing to until the end, mid-October. So are you looking at that time, or are you looking at this month? Because this month the president is expected to deliver a speech probably on Thursday to tell us. Are you expecting the answer this Thursday, or you are fine with December?
Our pockets are empty right now. We are hungry. We cannot wait for 15th October. We are saying the president, we want the president to open back the industry immediately. That is why we're walking there barefooted to say, President, we are asking you to do it now because of many people die even before the 15th of October. I mean, during lockdown, I learned ukuthi 20 rand is so huge. When at some time, at my mind, 20 rand was nothing. Exactly. Manje ngibonela ukuthi yeka 20 rand ungathenga izinto eziyi2 ziklase for 2 days. So to be quite honest, if singalinda inyanga is too long. We are asking the president to open now because of, also remember, we still have to prepare. When we talk gigs, we talk December. So if the president opens in October, we won't even plan to have stages ready and everything ready. We want the president to declare open now that we start preparing. Of course, the gigs then can kick in December.
Now, if you're saying that the president needs to open now, what other, type of precautions that you as an industry, you are willing to put into place? Because the taxis as well, when they said 70% capacity and until 100%, there were regulations that were put in place to say, okay, if you are taking 100% capacity in the taxi, these are the things that you need to do in order to make sure that the safety of the passengers is prioritized. Now, you then, on the other side, as musicians, and other artists, the performers, if I could use that word, and then you are in the stadium, and of course when people are going to stadiums, it's a lot of fun, and control over people is quite very, very limited. How are you going to ensure that people do adhere to the regulations that might be placed into place, and what are the type of regulations that you strongly believe that would work for the public when they're there?
Very, very powerful question. To be quite honest, we are regarded as people that are so disorganized. in the sector of music, when especially we compared with sport. But for the first time ever, what this COVID has done, which is positive, is to unite the industry. You can't believe that for the first time, 80% of the organizations are coming together. That has never happened in the history of the music industry. With that, we have put together plans to say we must abide by the regulations of COVID-19. Sanitizers, masks, all those that the president has spoken about, we will adhere to. That is why we're saying 70%, because of we want to make sure that people are seated with the social distancing and everything like that and behaving themselves. And we're also saying we are having an alternative of starting drive-ins, whereby you can park your car, watch the concert, but you don't have to come out of the car. Those are other things that we're looking at to say we don't have
in the car.
Well, to be quite honest, sometimes it's not always about jiving, because of more van rows we are but to still enjoy. Like me, I'm going to java, but I cannot. So we have got all those alternatives in place to say, President, if not this, we can try this one and eventually get to Gear 4, and eventually then we open as a whole. But yeah, we are going to abide by all the regulations, the COVID-19.
How practical it is for you guys to control the crowd? How practical it is to make sure that people continue to wear masks? Just imagine somebody sitting at the stadium with a mask on and a bottle of whatever you call it on the side, and listening to their favorite track creeping in the stadium at that moment. Do you think it's possible?
You can't believe one thing. I'm from a background of sport, because of when I started my career was in sport. At the stadium, normally like FNP, you've got minimum 80,000 people, driven by 500 people wearing their just gear for the security. Once people, they see there's a visibility of security, they behave themselves. At the stadiums, 80,000 people. You've never had people fighting, even though they have their glasses, one or two, and their bottles, but they don't fight one another. People, when it's time to entertain, they get entertained and they just sit and behave. In South Africa, when we sad, we dance. When we're happy, we dance. So there's no fighting. We've got no doubt that the way we know South Africa, in the history, you can go back 10 years. You've never had an incident whereby fans were fighting at the stadium or things like that. It has never happened, because of they go there for fun to entertain themselves. And this is exactly what, as part of healing, this is what people need right now. We are here not honestly because of artists have to benefit, but also people are stressed. People have been locked down. People, they want to move one another in the rooms, because of they've never been closed in one door for so long. So they're missing also that entertainment. We're saying we're going to give them, and they promised us to say we will behave. We just want to be entertained. We want to be we want to just to distress. So we're saying to the president, Stella usivulele, VULA president, uvule nje yonke into, futhi uvule ne 70% airplay on radio stations and television.
So why artists does not contribute to at least 10% of your overseas performance to sustain other artists? I mean, if you contribute that to your, maybe to your union and stuff like that, as you mentioned earlier, that the biggest problem as well is that a lot of artists, they die poor. They sit here and they realize that I don't have money. You get this money and then you use it, you misuse it to something else, and the day when really a great need comes for you to be using that money, you are unable to access that money because you have misused it somewhere. Why are they not using this money sparingly, so that maybe during times like this you are at least able to survive?
It's another powerful question, and very important, because the danger in entertainment or rights industry is that you sign Nasty C at the age of 17, you give Nasty C 3 million rand. I mean, this is a young boy that is doing standard 9. What is standard 9 in your English? Grade 11. You give a grade 11 a 3 million rand and you expect him to behave? No. The lack of support in the past was leading artists to behave and do things they used to do. Now we're going to get financial practitioners to come and assist artists to say, when you get 3 million rand, ungai investor in this way. Also, we are in the process of starting our own bank. Because of, remember, the commercial banks that we have, they disqualify us. They say, no, when are you high risk, we can't give you money because of you don't have a stable salary. Now we want the bank that will understand the interests of the artists. And we're going to assist them in terms of how to behave, how to save money and things like that. Because of, I've done the same. I've bought a lot of cars with the money I had. I don't have those cars now. So when you're young, you want to experiment a lot of things. And sometimes it's dangerous because of that money might not come back. So we have formed partnerships to say we're going to assist our artists to make sure that they save that money, because of those rainy days, you will never know when they come, you might not have a cent. We are looking at the new way of approaching the whole rights industry.
Now that you're here, I would want us to now maybe go a little bit onto Master KG. We have had a lot of people saying that Master KG was robbed by South Africa for not winning, I think it was
last year.
Yes, for not winning. What was the...
It was now only on Ukhozi FM, but it was not the summer song.
Yes. So he did not win at that moment. However, now it has become the biggest global song. It has become #1 most Shazammed song. It is like I could say that it's a national, not just a national song, but a global song where everybody, people that don't even understand what language is it, what does it say, but the fact that the beats of the music is what keeps them moving. This doesn't happen to just one person. Most of South African artists, do you feel that mostly we are under-celebrated? Meanwhile, the outside world celebrates you. We can make a reference to the likes of you, Miriam Makeba, to the likes of you, Ladysmith Black Mambazo and stuff like that. So these are like even Soweto Gospel Choir. If you go out of the country, they're massive. But here in South Africa, are we having a tendency of less celebrating our own?
Very, very important eye-opener. What you just said now is a very important message to open our eyes, especially South Africans. When you go up in Africa, it's different. We in South Africa, we've got the tendency of not supporting our own. Look at how massive Black Twitter is, but they're using more the negative instead of the positive. Imagine if Black Twitter was so positive in supporting what you guys do, what everybody's trying to do, we would be the biggest in South Africa because of the resources are there. But the support, we are easy to criticize and we are very difficult to applaud, to say this is good. That mentality is still there and it's taking us down. As a result, the first thing when I got into music industry, I said, guys, I don't know and I don't care who's at the corner. Let's try and unite. Whether you are a promoter or before we can come together, we are not going anywhere. I've been fighting our colleagues, pushing exactly that, to say let's unite first, let's support one another. Tira might be having 3 million followers, and Nasty C might be having 7 million. But if you combine a 3 million and a 10 million, you're already reaching out to the 10 million fans. So with us, it's easy to say a Casper will be bragging and say, I've got 5 million, you've got 1 million. It doesn't make sense. We are all targeting one person. So the more we open the circle, making the circle bigger, the more opportunities to create ourselves. So let's unite. Jay-Z and them, they unite overseas to say, let's throw a party whereby we'll come together as artists to promote what we have and target them. We must identify who our target. We can't target one another. We're not even target one another. We must be target the fans there that will be able to buy our music. Yes. So that thing is there. But coming to Master KG, being robbed.
I'll get into that, sorry, just shortly. I'll get into that because I think we've got a whole lot more to talk. We're going to stretch the interview a little longer. So we're going to go and take a very short break. When we're coming back, we're going to give you the news headlines and then we're going to continue with Owen on this story. Please do stay with us.
Violence and sexual abuse against children has become a major social challenge during the COVID-19 lockdown. We appeal to adults, parents and caregivers to be kind towards children during this lockdown and beyond. Give children the space they need to engage with their reading and learning activities. Do not hit them. Do not yell at them. They are equally frustrated. We urge you to listen, support and help the children to survive the COVID-19 lockdown. Report immediately any incident of sexual abuse. the Department of Basic Education. Every child is a national asset.
Feel the heat.
I love Adam Selman.
The girls are really thin. I think it looks very glamorous from the outside.
The life of a model in New York City.
There is such cool prints. So many.
You know, I'm buying this.
Look at me and all the selfie sort of thing. Honestly, I didn't really know that was actually a job. It just didn't occur to me.
Congratulations.
Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat.
Chicken portions are an easy way to feed a crowd.
I've just started to incorporate all my ingredients.
We're going to put this inside of a hot cast iron skillet.
You want to really fill up on great protein.
It's now time to sample the chef's dish. Look at this.
I know.
Like that?
Feel the excitement.
The chicken is on the spot.
Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat. Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat. Challenge your ordinary. Experience the extraordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Now, I believe that my peace is my most valuable asset.
Absolutely beautiful!
This is exactly what I was looking for.
DJ Khaled!
It is a day to celebrate.
We're ready for action.
I like it when it's nice and soft. Yeah, that is nice.
How was it like growing up in Nigeria? Yes, sir, you know what it is.
Feeling is there that, you know, you're doing something special.
Stop being so dramatic, Mira.
You should just be what you want to be.
Experience the extraordinary with StarSat. Feel the heat.
Hold on. To make it through this journey alive, you're gonna need someone to teach you the ninja way.
Don't just stand there, kill someone!
Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat. Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat.
China's saying that the latest outbreak is under control.
Feel the heat.
The cabinet has decided to ease restrictions on certain other economic activities.
I don't want to be a white person who sits by and does nothing, so that's why I'm here today.
Feel the excitement.
We are here to unite because what we are fighting for is to stop institutional racism.
Feel the heat with StarSat.
The coronavirus outbreak.
Experience the extraordinary.
Tremendous waste and tremendous fraud. Mexico is, in fact, you will soon find out.
It is a day to celebrate.
We don't approve at all what's going on.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily unusual.
Challenge your ordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Experience the extraordinary with StarSat. Feel the heat.
You said you love me. I do.
Sure.
Yeah. Leave my house, man. Oh, no, you That is an abomination.
Oh, the love you promised me.
Do you have a boyfriend? Yeah?
Feel the excitement.
You don't know how I've been longing for this.
Feel the heat with StarSat.
The day will come when these measures are no longer needed. Until then, however, we must ensure that all our people receive adequate support. We look ahead to a better future.
Violence and sexual abuse against children has become a major social challenge during the COVID-19 lockdown. We appeal to adults, parents and caregivers to be kind towards children during this lockdown and beyond. Give children the space they need to engage with their reading and learning activities. Do not hit them. Do not yell at them. They are equally frustrated. We urge you to listen, support and help the children to survive the COVID-19 lockdown. Report immediately any incident of sexual abuse. The Department of Basic Education. Every child is a national asset.
Feel the heat.
I love Adam Selman.
The girls are really thin. I think it looks very glamorous from the outside.
The life of a model in New York City.
There is such cool prints. So many.
You know, I'm buying this.
Look at me and all the selfie sort of thing. Honestly, I didn't really know that was actually a job. It just didn't occur to me.
Congratulations. Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat.
Chicken portions are an easy way to feed a crowd.
I've just started to incorporate all my ingredients.
We're going to put this inside of a hot cast iron skillet.
You want to really fill up on great protein.
It's now time to sample the chef's dish. Look at this.
I know.
Like that?
Feel the excitement.
The chicken is on the spot.
Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat. Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat. Challenge your ordinary. Experience the extraordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Now, I believe that my peace is my most valuable asset.
Absolutely beautiful!
This is exactly what I was looking for.
DJ Khaled!
It is a day to celebrate.
We're ready for action. I like it when it's nice and soft. Yeah, that is nice.
How was it like growing up in Nigeria? Yes, sir, you know what it is.
Feeling is there that, you know, you're doing something special.
Stop being so dramatic, Mira.
You should just be what you want to be.
Experience the extraordinary with StarSat. Feel the heat.
Hold on. To make it through this journey alive, you're gonna need someone to teach you the ninja way.
Don't just stand there, kill someone!
Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat. Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with
Welcome back again. If you have just joined us, we welcome you. We're still right here, of course, on Pan African Morning on Channel 500 on StarSat. On the green couch, of course, we are still hosting our two guests. One has just joined us right now. I'll let you know who are they if you haven't already been with us and get to see the earlier guests. Going on with our stories, the workers say that the health workers in Nigeria, they say that they deserve to be compensated for treating coronavirus patients as they have embarked on a strike. Only a week after doctors in Africa's most populous country staged a walkout. The Joint Health Service unions, also representing medical staff such as nurses, midwives and radiologists, said that the strike will begin on Monday, which began on Monday, would last for 7 days. Doctors across the country, however, will continue to work. The trade unions' demand include life insurance for its members, full access to protective equipment and pay structure adjustments. The Johesu said that it will launch an indefinite strike if the demands are not being met within next week. Health Minister Osaji Enhari is in a statement said that issued by the department said the part of briefing by the government's task force on the new coronavirus urged health workers to call off the stoppage. He said that the issues around allowance are multi-sectoral and have always been solved with negotiations, no matter how long it took. Strikes by the health workers are common in Nigeria. Last week, the National Association of Resident Doctors suspended a separate strike to allow government some time for him to meet with the demands over pay and also the working conditions in that country. The strike by the resident doctors, the medical school graduates training, as well as specialists who dominate hospital emergency wards, was that union second of the year. They do not agree, of course, with the way that they are being paid. Now, the AGRF 2020 conference hosted by Miracle Rwanda over the past weekend ended with a bang at the presidential summit on the last day, delivered by the discussions. Now, the president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, has set tone for the discussion, highlighting all that was wrong with African food security vis-a-vis with what his country was doing about it. He further implored African leaders to invest more in agriculture, saying that the only reason Africa will continue to import large amounts of food from outside the continent is that it simply has not been a priority to add value to its products and do more business with each other. Rwanda has chiefly fled the way by investing in agriculture technology, particularly focusing on irrigation and improved in crops. A densely populated country with small and parcels, it's estimated that over 500,000 of its smallholders are technology adept. Now, moving on to other parts outside of our beautiful African continent. Let's look into the story in China. A China-developed coronavirus vaccine could be ready for public as early as November. The Chinese officials has told the state television as the global race to clear the final round of trial heats up. Chinese manufacturers have been bullish about development of companies and Sinovac Biotech and Sinopharm, even though that they were putting their vaccine candidates on display at the trade fair in Beijing this month. Representative on the firms told the AFP that they hope that their vaccine will be approved after phase 3 trials as early as the end of the year. On late Monday, the chief biosafety expert at the Chinese Center of Disease Control told the state broadcaster that CCTV that the vaccine will be available for the general public around November November or even December 2020. Wu Gazan did not specify the vaccine, which vaccine she was referring to, but she said that based on the phase 3, as I quote, clinical results, the current progress is very, very smooth. Wu added that she had taken a vaccine in April and has felt good over the past few months, although she did not specify which candidate she had taken. There are currently 9 vaccine candidates in the late stage human trials, although some have hit recent obstacles. Pharma giant AstraZeneca had and also Oxford University momentarily paused clinical trials last week after a volunteer developed an unexplained illness. A very, very difficult story in there, we must say. And maybe before we can move into our interview, let's take a look at this one more story. Roderick Walker was assaulted by white police officers who had pulled over the car he was riding in for a broken tail light, pinned him down on the street on Friday, while the officer leaned his full body weight onto Walker, who is black. A second officer repeatedly punched him on his head. When the officers, both who are white officers, finally stood up, Walker was unconscious. His face was bloodied and swollen, as well as the deputy flipped him over and put his wrist in cuffs. On Sunday, the Clayton County Sheriff fired the officer that seen punching Walker, a 26-year-old, for excessive use of force. Walker, who was charged with battery and obstructing officers, remain in custody. Now, with the sheriff's office saying that he can't be released due to a felony probation warrant from another county. Now, but Shane Williams, his attorney, noted that he wasn't detained or arrested for being on probation or having an open case in another county. Walker's case is the latest civil rights flashpoint in Georgia. In late February, Ahmaud Arbery was fatally shot while running in the Brunswick and took in about 74 days for authorities to arrest the suspect. The state has been racked with a protest after George Floyd's death in May, and again when Rayshard Brooks was also shot and killed by Atlanta police officers back in June.
He did not fucking bite you. Shut that shit up.
Y'all niggas right here, man.
That's why we don't like fucking cops. This is exactly why we don't like fucking cops.
Y'all got blood on y'all hands. This nigga came and then wonder why we don't like somebody.
And you wonder why we say fuck you. Hurry up, y'all. Hurry up.
Walker's altercation with police started with a traffic stop. Walker and his girlfriend Juanita Davis had dropped off a rental car Friday and found someone to drive them. Their 5-month-old child and Walker's stepson home for a small fee, and his lawyer has said. In a video of an incident, one officer accuses Walker of biting his hand, a claim Williams have denied. The officers arrested Walker and brought him to the Clayton County Jail. Already, of course, we have got to see those very disturbing visuals, and this type of incidents in America continues. Now, moving on, of course, with our discussion, and now we are, of course, joined by Romeo, who is also a president of SACAV, and of course, you are also a convener of this current march that you are staging today. Now, a warm welcome to you, and if you're you've just joined us, our viewers, we are still joined by Owen in the studio for us. With us here, we're talking about the march that you are staging today. Now, let's just come to you, Romeo, and maybe give us more details with regards to this march. What are your demands? Of course, we have heard some, of course, already from Owen, but and of course, then what is in a memorandum of understanding that you are pushing in there? But most importantly, let us just first find out: is this march have been authorized? That you are, given a right to do you've been given a permit to have this protest or this march? Because from the last few weeks, we saw what happened in Devon. People took to the streets up, surprised, without having proper, documentation that allowed them to block the road. And most of them, they ended up receiving scope and donor, of course. And we have seen other people trying to run for their lives. And I didn't know that that guy has got very... He is fast, like shit. Yeah. All that I'm sure was kind of like speeding. So now let's find out, so that we don't expect anything. When our journalists are going there, they need to be on their boots and making sure that their socks are tied, if that's the case. Warn us here. What's going on?
Thank you very much. First of all, let me acknowledge that South Africa is a democratic country. What we have done as conveners, we have actually notified the Tshwane Metro Police that we are coming. We are not doing things under the carpet. We have informed them that we are coming as the cultural and the creative industry. Reason being that we want them to escort the marchers, and because the police job is not to brutalize our people. The police job is to come there and safeguard us as we march, so that we are able to move properly and so on. We also have marshals. So we have also informed the union building, the office of the president. We've submitted a letter to say we're coming as the cultural and the creative industry, and they are looking forward to accept our memorandum. What happened in KZN was very unfortunate. It was done by silly, useless police, people in uniform, who don't respect people's democratic right of marching. Look, we don't need permission to march. Marching is our right, and there's nobody who's going to stop us from marching or picketing, because our constitution, which is one of the best in the world, has given us the right. So the first thing, when we go to police and notify them, it's not because we want permission to march. It's because we want them to come and police the march. But at the end of the day, marching is a right. As you saw, the EFF was marching, was picketing left and right, and the police could not even arrest them because they were actually doing what is right democratically. Even the court threw out one of the judgment to show that marching is not a crime in South Africa. So us were not going to be intimidated by police because look, we've been marching. Our forefathers have been marching before. So the issue of marchings, they are in the blood of an African child. So basically, this particular march is very special for us because it's happening on a Heritage Month. In South Africa, we've got a problem where you celebrate a culture only in Heritage Month. So part and parcel of this march is to say to the president, we are tired of being neglected and forgotten every time when there's State of the Nation address. There is one line about artists. So we are saying to the president, the issues of arts and culture, the creative economy, we want to participate actively, and we want to make sure that when people sit around the table, like all these big discussions that the president is having, artists are also included in those particular issues. One of the issues we are demanding, of course, we are saying that we are calling on the president to actually drop the charges of the artists who are arrested in KZN. We are also saying that artists want to work for their own.
Yes.
Artists cannot just depend on relief and stipends. Artists are people who work for themselves. So we are calling for the venues. I don't know if Comrade Owen has already raised that. We are calling for the venues to open, venues of arts and culture. That's your theater, festivals and so on, to open a 70% capacity. Let me give you an example. When you go to a taxi rank, it's crowded. They put measures of COVID-19 in place, sanitizers and so on. People are sitting in full capacity. I go to the gym myself. When I go to the gym, it's even worse. We are touching equipment that people are touching. But because gyms have put measures in place, sanitizers, we're sanitizing our hands, we're wearing our mask, we're able to be safe. So we are saying, as the cultural and creative industry, we also want the same benefits that people are getting. Why is the sports open? Why is tourism open? So we are going to make sure that when these venues are open, measures are taken and are put in place. We are also aware that the president has promised 500 billion of relief. So we are saying our industry has been allocated 1.2 billion. But this money must be spent between now and March. But we are saying there are delays in terms of distribution of this money. So we're demanding that the money be distributed to those who've got ideas that can create economic recoveries of the industry, that can create job creation. People like OWEN, who've got ideas and business people, organizations, and so on. So one of the reasons we're marching, let me just also remind the viewers that we have written to the office of the minister because it's our minister. We're not fighting with the minister or anyone.
Yes.
All we're saying here is we're saying we're artist matters, and we're still on level 5. You guys are at work, you're in level 2, we're in level 5.
Yes.
Because we're not able to put food on the table. So we have said this thing of relief is giving us problems because a lot of artists who don't have the luxury of access to data, who stay in remote areas and rural areas, are not able to access this particular relief because they are poor, general and natural. So we have even suggested to say, work with organizations, let's have help desks where they will be allocated computers and data so that our people are just able to go there. Those things didn't happen. That is the reason we're not taking the memorandum to the department. We're going to the president to say, we have done a lot on our part, but it seems like things are not moving on. But what is important is that the march is being supported by more than 19 organizations around the country. We're marching today to Union Building in Pretoria, where we're meeting at Church Square. And in Cape Town, we're marching in front of Parliament. Around the country, we're marching in the offices of the premiers and mayors. We want to deal with people who are in authority. Because there's no point for us to march to an office that is not decisive. Because one of the reasons we want our memorandum to be submitted to the National COVID-19, the National Command Council, so that our inputs are taken into consideration. Because, mind you, you can't say to us we must work with 50 people. What we do, we're running business of the creative and cultural industry. So that's all we're saying. And our march is not a vandalism or so. I mean, for now, ourselves, we are going to behave very well. And we are going to submit our memorandum. We have said to ourselves, we're artists. We can't just go email the memorandum to the president. We must submit the memorandum through a program. Thank you.
Now, if I could maybe ask some of these things, I understand that it's been quite very difficult for you. You actually mentioned that you know, the president only includes you or includes the artistic industry or in a very, very small line. And I wanted to just put you up to speed that you know, when we look into America, a biggest country like the United States, they've got 4% of they contribute $800 billion to the country's GDP. The entertainment industry as a whole. So now in South Africa, in comparison, South African entertainment industry is contributing 0.02. So it means that it's not even 1% of South African GDP that is being contributed by the entertainment industry. Now, what is it that you know, your industry now is saying, listen guys, we want to do this because we want to you know, achieve out of this and also give back to the society and make sure, because another problem that we are facing here is that people are saying once you guys get the money, you go on and live your life the way you want to live it and actually forget that there is tomorrow and forgetting even contributing into the economy of the country, which makes it very hard for South Africans to fight with you, because once you're there, you forget about them.
Yeah, no, look, I think the cultural and creative industry in South Africa is contributing a lot, you know. I can just, one of the reasons we are fighting to work online is because when you work online, the whole value chain of the cultural and the creative industry is not satisfied. Let's say when there's an event, there is a technical team, there is a production team that is working on site, the camera guys and so on, the crew, there are sound people, there's security, there is a vendor selling some stuff on the street. There are people who are running small business of food. Those are selling alcohol beverages and so on. So we want the live events to open because we want the value chain to be satisfied. So there was a research which was done in 2016. which has indicated that the cultural and creative industry of South Africa is contributing 63 billion in the GDP. So we are contributing a lot. Look, America and other countries like your UK, they understand the power of arts and culture. Because if you are an individual or a person, you do not know about your culture and heritage, you are lost. But we are saying that, look, there's a lot of businesses, restaurants, hotels and so on, that depends on the nightlife.
Yes.
You know, so if you can look now, the world is dancing to a Master KG from Limpopo, a small village, because of the same industry that has been shut down. And this particular person, if the country was open, he could be making a lot of money, bringing the money back in the country. So that's why we were saying, well, open the borders. You can open the borders for certain people, and other people, the borders are not open. So we understand the industry, when it's opened, a lot of jobs are going to be saved. Because if we don't open the industry, I can tell you, we'll kiss this industry goodbye. And some of us won't allow that, because this is our jobs. This is our bread and butter. That's why we're protecting the industry. Thank you very much.
Just to add on what the president is saying, we have to revisit those stats because, to be quite honest, music is contributing more than football, more than sport in the country. Yet that sport is opened internationally and the music not. But we understand why. It was because of we were always referred to as a disjointed type of sector. Now we are so united. Like the president has just said, 19 organizations coming together is the first time in history. And this is the amount of work that we've been put together to say, we are ready now to tackle the world. South Africa on the map is put there by music. Lady Smith, Black Mambazo has got 5 Grammy Awards. And when it comes to soccer, you don't have really international stars. The last one we had was Lucas Hadden. But music has never been given an attention that it deserves. No, we do know they're coming up now, but we've been there and we're talking awards like the Ballon d'Or. We're still dreaming in the next 10 years we won't have a South African player winning the Ballon d'Or, but we're already in the Grammy Awards 5 times. So I think now the attention must change and be given to us.
And I think
thank you so much. We are going to take a very short break because we're running out of time, and then we're definitely going to, of course, follow up as you guys are going to Pretoria, and we'll get to know more about what you're going to do. Of course, our journalists will be following you guys and get to see everything. So thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us, and we really appreciate it. We wish you all the best as you're going to March, and we hope that whatever you're looking for, you'll find it, because we're tired of being on lockdown as well. We want to come with you and dance wherever you'll be hosting these events. Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen.
SISANDA, thank you
very much.
Of course.
To you and the network. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. We are going to take a very short break. As we're coming back, we've got more news and updates for you right here on Pan African Morning. Please do stay with us, as we're going to keep you updated on what will be happening across the country with this planned march that is requesting #VULA President. Stay with us.
Violence and sexual abuse against children has become a major social challenge during the COVID-19 lockdown. We appeal to adults, parents and caregivers to be kind towards children during this lockdown and beyond. Give children the space they need to engage with their reading and learning activities. Do not hit them. Do not yell at them. They are equally frustrated. We urge you to listen, support and help the children to survive the COVID-19 lockdown. Report immediately any incident of sexual abuse. The Department of Basic Education. Every child is a national asset.
Feel the heat.
I love Adam Selman.
The girls are really thin. I think it looks very glamorous from the outside.
The life of a model in New York City.
There is such cool prints. So many.
You know, I'm buying this.
Look at me and all the selfie sort of thing. Honestly, I didn't really know that was actually a job. It just didn't occur to me.
Congratulations. Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat.
Chicken portions are an easy way to feed a crowd.
I've just started to incorporate all my ingredients.
We're going to put this inside of a hot cast iron skillet.
You want to really fill up on great protein.
It's now time to sample the chef's dish. Look at this.
I know.
Like that?
Feel the excitement.
The chicken is on the spot.
Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat. Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat.
Challenge your ordinary. Experience the extraordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Now, I believe that my peace is my most valuable asset.
Absolutely beautiful!
This is exactly what I was looking for.
DJ Khaled!
It is a day to celebrate.
We're ready for action. I like it when it's nice and soft. Yeah, that is nice.
How was it like growing up in Nigeria? Yes, sir, you know what it is.
Feeling is there that, you know, you're doing something special.
Stop being so dramatic, Mira.
You should just be what you want to be.
Experience the extraordinary with StarSat.
Feel the heat.
Alright. To make it through this journey alive, you're gonna need someone to teach you the ninja way. Don't just stand there, kill someone!
Feel the excitement. Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat.